What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a first ride of the brand new 2023 Honda Transalp. Now, as some of you may know, I've already owned the first generation Transalp, the 600, the V-twin 600, and I am really curious to see this bike because it has gotten a lot of love, it has gotten a lot of hate. Now, this is not going to be a full review. I basically just picked up the bike, rode 500 meters to here, and this is the first time I'm going to actually ride it. We have it for about half an hour, and we're going to ride the wheels off it. First of all, a little bit of specs. So we have, let's see, we have a parallel twin engine, a 750 parallel twin. This has gotten a lot of people very angry because the old Transalp was a V-twin. This is a parallel twin, and a lot of people are angry. It has about 90 horsepower and about 75 newton meters of torque. That should be way more than enough power. In terms of wheel sizes, we're looking at a 21 up front and an 18 in the back. Proper off-road stance. Seat height about 850 millimeters. It is pretty tall, but at 175 centimeters tall, I can reach the ground decently. In terms of weight, we have 208 kilograms, so it's a fairly light bike. 17-liter fuel tank, should have decent range. I think 17 should have about 400 kilometers of range if you ride it carefully, or at least 350. What else? Full LEDs, rider modes, but we'll get that when we ride it. So yeah, let's get on this bloody thing, because I'm really curious to see how the brand new Transalp rides. This is a basic Transalp, no accessories, no crash bars, no nothing. The basic Transalp that you can buy, the base bike actually. So, electric start, of course. Wouldn't expect to see a Kickstarter. Fairly easy to get off the line going. Yeah, no helmet. Oh well, what can you do? Let's get cracking. Close this. Now, like I've said before, I have owned the previous 600cc first generation Transalp. It was a 91 model, and in 1991 Honda switched from the drum brake on the back to a disc brake. Now, people wax lyrics about the old Transalp. It was the perfect bike. It was the most awesome bike in the world. Owners are absolutely in love with them. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't like the first generation Transalp. Sure, it was extremely good off-road, but that's about it. Once you got it on-road, at highway speeds over 110 kilometers an hour, the thing vibrated to hell. So it was very uncomfortable. You had the rear cylinder of the V-twin right here between your crotch, and it basically melted your family jewels. So it was a very uncomfortable bike to ride on tarmac for long distance. On the off-road, yes, it was an extremely capable bike. You could feel that it could go just about anywhere, but on-road it was, frankly, it was miserable. The front brake was a joke. Mine had the first generation had a single disc up front, and it was smaller than it is on my Symphony ST, so the front brake was an absolute joke. When they switched to the rear disc brake was extremely sensitive, so anytime you wanted to do hard braking, the rear would lock up and the front wouldn't do any braking. It was completely backwards. Now, Honda refined the recipe of the Transalp generation after generation, and in the 2000s with the 700 model, the third gen, they went to a 19-inch front wheel because they realized people ride mostly on tarmac and a little bit on dirt roads and gravels. People hated that bike too. because it didn't have the 21-inch front. Now Honda has brought back the old Transalp with proper off-road abilities, and people are still hating on it because now we no longer have a V-twin engine, because people say the V-twin was the trademark of the Transalp. Well, I'm sorry, the V-Strom was also a V-twin, so it's not really any trademark. But is it really that bad compared to my first generation Transalp? Is this really that bad of a motorcycle? Well, let's debunk a couple of things. First of all, weight. It's actually lighter than the first gen. With all of the electronics, this is lighter than the first gen. We have rider modes, we have all the suite of electronics. So it's much better equipped, and yet it's lighter. Second of all, this thing handles, okay? The first gen Transalp, I don't know how slowly people ride, but the first gen Transalp did not handle. You would tip it into a corner and say your prayers, because who knows what it would do. Because of the big 21-inch front wheel, it was so hard to tip it into a corner. It didn't feel natural. It was well and truly a dirt bike that somehow you got on the road. This one, it's majestic in how you can put it into a bend. It just set it into a corner. I don't know, it rides like a street bike. It rides like a modern adventure bike. The thing handles, the thing corners. The thing is a lot of fun. And the engine, well, let's put it in gravel user sport mode. Let's put it in sport mode, drop a couple of cogs, and let's see if the engine is really that crappy as people say it is. Now, we don't have a highway, so I can test highway speeds, but what we can do is take it up in third gear to some high RPM, which would mimic the RPM at highway speeds. Currently at 4,000 RPM, I am having a bit of vibration, but not a lot. It's manageable. Coming from the GS, this is manageable. But let's see the pickup. Oh, the noise is beautiful, and whoa, at 6,000 the damn thing wakes up. Oh, the noise is beautiful. It growls. This is a new engine from Honda, and boy, is it ever sweet. The thing growls when you get into higher RPM. Let's listen to it again. Come on, I need to find a place to overtake. It should have 90 horsepower and 75 newton meters of torque. That's a nice engine. We do have plenty of torque down low. And let's see. 10 grand! And look at it handle. This is an adventure bike. Whoa, the brakes are nice and positive. I think they're Nissan brakes, dual brake discs up front, and it shows. Let's take it out of the bend. Oh yeah, the thing. Oh, when you open the throttle and you let the damn thing breathe. I'm sorry, you were saying the modern Transalp was crap because it doesn't have a 50 horsepower V-twin engine? Well, you can just off. Rev limiter. And the brakes, it's really confidence inspiring on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Man, in sport mode, baby, does it ever go. And it's easy to put into a bend. Woo! Yeah, girl, it doesn't pop, it doesn't do pops and bangs, but that's okay. That's just fine by me. Adventure bikes aren't really cut out for pops and bangs. The gearbox is nice and slick. and the engine, it's so responsive. I have to, when I blip the throttle for downshift, I have to actually blip it a little bit less because the engine is so revvy, it's so happy. Oh boy, is this ever an awesome bike. Whoo! I liked the Desert X last year on this road, and this thing is about 6,000 euros cheaper. And it handles, and I know it's good off-road because people that are better at off-road than me have taken it off-road and have said it's absolutely great off-road. We're gonna try a bit of a dirt road, but on the road, oh, hard on the brakes, woohoo! Blip the throttle, chuck it into the bend, and power out. Easy on the throttle. The power delivery, it's so bloody smooth, and once you let the damn thing breathe, the thing is, it changes its noise, like a little throttle, a little noise. Open it up completely, open the throttle body completely, and the thing screams and growls at you. This is a sport bike with off-road suspension. Bloody hell. This is, you know, people are right to be mad. This is nothing like the old Transalp. This is way better. It's just better. Okay? The old Transalp sounded nothing like this. Nothing, absolutely nothing like this. So enjoyable on a motor, and the torque! Minimum vibrations at high RPM, the torque picks up. Oh, okay, I think we have a problem. I really like this bike. I knew it was gonna be decent, but oh, I really like this bike, and it's not actually that expensive at 11,000. Oh boy. I like my GS, but the damn thing is so heavy. This thing, honestly, it feels just as powerful as my 1100 GS, but it's so much lighter and nimbler. The GS here would be a complete workout. This isn't. And to be honest, I think I would run rings around the GS with this. This is my first time on it, so I'm pretty careful in the corners. I don't know the tires, but just look at it go. Bloody hell. This isn't a Transalp. The Transalp was like a relaxed long distance cruiser that you rode at 80 kilometers an hour. This isn't. I mean, you can ride it relaxed, but if you want to get going, bloody hell, does it ever pick up. Alright, let's just turn it around here. Bloody hell, what a good bike. Now we're gonna test out the braking system, because I think there are Nissan brakes. There should be Nissan brakes. Anyway, it's two pistons up, it's two brake discs up front. I think they're radially mounted calipers, if I remember correctly. The suspension is a bit soft and a bit wallowy. When you hit the brakes, it dives a little bit. There is a little bit of fork dive. Compared to my GS, there is a little bit of fork dive. But just prop yourself on the handlebars and the thing will stop. I've got positive lever feel. It's easy to chuck into the bend. Oh, this is good. I am a bit spoiled on my GS because when I grabbed a handful of front brake, it doesn't dive at all because of the paralever front, the telelever front suspension. This does dive. There's no two ways about it. This does dive. But it's so nimble and small and light, it's actually quite manageable. When it dives, you just move your body weight a little bit to the back. But oh boy, is it ever enjoyable. Whew. Missed the gear shift lever. See, I'm not used to the bike. This is my first time riding the bike, so I missed the gear shift lever. man, does it ever pick up speed like no, but it's business. And it enjoys being hustled. That's amazing. What I'm doing now, I'm hustling the bike on a mountain road. It does not feel wrong. It doesn't feel like it's not liking it. It feels like it's enjoying it. It feels, if it could speak to me, it would probably put up on the dash, come on, faster. Hard on the brakes, a little bit of rear ABS, chuck it in, apex the corner, get on power, and explode on the way out. Second gear, the front end got a little bit light on me. It wants to get on its back wheel. Oh, the damn thing is so nice. Come on, not first gear. I don't want to mess something up. I think I downshifted to first gear because the engine feels so happy at high RPM. Compared to other adventure bikes, this thing feels so happy at high RPM. 4,000 RPM is just the beginning of the rev range, and you can feel it. Now, is this good for off-roading? Normally for off-roading you would want a lot of low-end torque. We are gonna take it a little bit on a gravel road and see exactly what's what. But honestly, I think for off-roading there's enough torque. There is enough torque in the low end. Oh boy. Let's put it in standard mode. Is it just as growly? It's a little bit dumbed down. The throttle response is a little bit dumbed down, but like 10%. You can have a lot of fun with it even in standard mode. I don't care who you are. Oh, how easy it is. And the ergonomics of the bike are so nice. My feet are in the perfect position. I have a very good body position. The handlebars are where I would really like them. On my GS, even with my handlebar risers, it's still a little bit too forward. I would have liked the handlebars a little bit closer to me. No such problems here. No such problems here. I'm trying to think of something I don't like about the bike. The engine is awesome. The handling is good. The suspension is nice and comfy, and yet you can still hustle it on a mountain road. The ergonomics are great. The build quality seems solid. The technical package with all of the electronic systems is top-notch. The engine sound is awesome. And this is the stock exhaust. Put it back in sport mode. Yeah, in sport mode you get a little bit of sound. I don't know if it has an active exhaust, or maybe it's because of the timing you hear more intake, but it has a much more meaty sound in sport mode. I would just ride it in sport mode all day long. And in terms of fuel usage, considering this is a press bike and it has been hustled around this road all day long, 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's awesome fuel consumption. The old Transalp, you were lucky if you got 5.5, and I mean 5.5 riding easy. Normally it would get about 6, about the same fuel consumption as my R1100 GS, which is kind of pathetic for a bike with half the power and half the engine. Now, where is that turnoff to that gravel road? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's put it in gravel. And I'm gonna open up my visor so I don't steam up on the pegs. Oh, it's so bloody well easy. Yeah, boy. This is easy. The old Transalp was a little bit wobbly, but this is so easy. And now let's see if I can turn it around. Very nicely balanced. Easy clutch control. Now this is a pretty new bike, but the clutch control is quite easy. It does have torque. I don't care who you are, it has torque. I mean, it does have torque, low end, no problem. Yep. And the off-road ABS works a treat, letting the rear wheel lock up a little bit so it can slow us down. I don't know if I can find some better off-road. This is kind of pathetic. Okay. Maybe down there we can see through the... We don't have proper off-road tires, but nah. We're gonna try. Alright, let's see through here. What do we have here? Oh, it's muddy. But now let's see the test. Can I turn it around? Now this is a press bike. We're not gonna get it all muddy. And let's see if how easy it is to turn around on gravel, on dirt. It's a lot easier. I wouldn't be able to do this with my GS. The damn thing is just too heavy. But yeah, off-road. This isn't a proper off-road test, but off-road, it does its job. But back on the tarmac, put it in sport mode. Yes, yes. And poodling along in 6th gear, 100 kilometers an hour, flicking it from side to side. 4,000 RPM. There's plenty of torque in the engine. Let's take it down low to 3,000 RPM. Is there pickup? Okay, let's get through this bend. 2,000 RPM. Let's see. 6th gear. Half throttle. The thing picks up. There's enough torque. I'm sorry, there's enough torque. To all the naysayers, there is enough torque. It does feel better when you get it high in the rev range, but if you want to drive economical, you can. So bloody flickable. And put it in 6th gear, put it in standard mode. Look at how easy it is to ride. What an awesome machine from Honda. It's a bit eye-opening, and people saying the new Transalp is crap, it doesn't have the heritage of the old Transalp. Yeah, sorry, I don't care. This is an awesome motorcycle. This is an absolute treat of a bike. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching, for liking the videos, and for subscribing. And until the next time, take care out there, everyone, and ride safe. Goodbye.